Welcome to the Third Win channel, where today we're doing superlatives for the characters of iCarly, both new and old, original and reboot. Obviously, there's more content from the original, so that'll take a driver's seat. But what are superlatives? Things like what is the best bromance and who is most likely to become a meme? So let's get straight into it with our first category, first superlative, which is biggest flirt. So I had two candidates. I had a best candidate from the original show and one from the new show. If we're talking strictly about overall, who I think is the best, it must be Gibby. He's got this natural kind of seduction to him. Like he does this Gibby thing, and the women just flock, you know. Like, and if you go back and watch the original, he is very flirtatious. He'll hit on girls and whatever. So Gibby for sure for me, and he's good at it. But if we're talking just about the revival, I'd say probably Harper. She's very good at it, as we saw in, I think, the robot wedding when she was competing with Spencer. She was very good at flirting and getting numbers. So Harper there for sure. But there's something about Gibby, that extra Gibby that pushes him over the edge here, and he gets the biggest flirt for me. Next up, we got the class cat clown, where again we have a few candidates, but for me it was between Spencer and Gibby, and for me the difference was Gibby is more, I feel like he's more himself and he's made fun of for it. He's not trying to be funny, whereas Spencer is kind of being that clown, or not clown, but he's joking around and he's trying to make people laugh. So I think that's what the difference. I think that's what makes Spencer so class clowny, and I think he's really funny. Honestly, I think he's probably the fun. I mean, Gibby is very funny, but Spencer is what I consider to be the class clown. Moving on, we have most likely to become a meme. And here, to me, it was clear. It had to be Carly. From what we've seen from the reboot, we've seen Carly get memed a lot. From the web show days as well. And yeah, it had to be Carly for me. We have the memes from they recreated the meme in the reboot with the thinking face from Megan from Drake and Josh. So it had to be Carly. Very memeable face as well. Next up, we got most gullible. And again, here we had a very easy choice, especially when you consider just the original series. There's even a whole episode devoted to how gullible Freddie is. And Sam and Carly are kind of playing tricks on him and seeing how gullible he can really be. And he is gullible. It's in his nature. He wants to believe the best in everyone. So yes, he tends to be quite gullible, and he rightfully deserves this most gullible reward or superlative adjective. Next up, we got the best parent, and just to clarify, this isn't someone who is a parent necessarily, it's just someone who has characteristics of being a good parent, so it can be anyone. But for me, it had to be Spencer, who isn't a parent, but from what I've seen in all the characters, I feel like Spencer has the best characteristics of being a parent, minus maybe setting things on fire a little bit too much, but we saw what a good parent he was to Carly, and I just feel like he's so positive and has great energy, and he cares about the people around him. So he to me seems like the best parent. Next up, we got most likely to start a successful business, and to me this was super clear, and it is Millicent. What a business savvy person. She knows law, she knows business, she's already thinking about money, she already has her businesses going, and the only thing holding her back really is Freddie not allowing her to do things. So I've no doubt in my mind Millicent becomes mega successful businesswoman. So for sure, Millicent here. Next up, we got best dressed, and this is very subjective, obviously, but if you take into consideration the original show and the new show, I think that Carly has always had a unique sense of style. And so that's something that is like noticeable when watching even the original, maybe not towards the beginning of the show, but definitely towards the end. And Carly has a unique style, and also she gets the benefits of Harper being a stylist, and we get to see her in all sorts of really cool stylish clothing. So definitely Carly getting best dressed here. Next up, we got most likely to survive the Hunger Games. So this has to be someone tough. Doesn't necessarily have to be politically correct either, as we saw Katniss didn't have to be, even though she was from one of the poorer districts and whatnot, if you've seen the Hunger Games. But for me, that naturally lent towards Sam. She wouldn't get scared as, for example, Carly, who would just hide all the time, or Freddie. Spencer is a runner-up, but For me, what made it the distinction between Sam and Spencer clear was that Sam is a better fighter, tougher fighter, better at using weapons. And number two, we saw a Hunger Games style game in the iCarly universe in the original series where they were doing, I think it was like, they're called like blowpipe paintballs, where Sam and Spencer are the last ones left in this game, and Sam does come out on top, winning this Hunger Games in the iCarly universe. So for me, it was natural to choose Sam here. Next up, we got the best bromance, which is also our final category, and we have a few options here, but for me, something in the original iCarly series stand out. Something, it was like a natural progression. We never really saw Gibby and Freddie be such bros, but I think that Spencer and Gibby towards the end of the original series were just the most bro vibe. They kind of, I mean, other than Gibby stealing some of Spencer's girlfriends, they had such a good vibe between them. Maybe a little bit before the end of the series. For me, I always saw these guys as such a wholesome bro kind of relationship, and they helped each other out. And I mean, after all, Spencer was the captain and Gibby was the first mate on the ship in the parking lot as well. I mean, for me, there was no doubt. Spencer and Gibby, best bromance for sure. So I'll look back at all of our superlatives for this iCarly superlative first episode, I guess. If you guys want to see more superlatives for other, I can't say that word, for other shows or a part 2 for iCarly, let me know by telling me in the comments if you want to see another one, which shows you want to see. And what helps the most to understand what videos you guys like is that subscribe button, because that lets me know that you guys want to see more. So thank you for watching the Third Wind channel. I've had a lot of fun making this video, and I'll see you guys very soon for a new video very soon.